Toyota hybrid system. Undoubtedly, the automotive industry is currently in the midst of a quiet but tremendous transformation. And at the heart of this transformation is hybrid technology, both gasoline and electric. It sounds simple, but it's backed by decades of engineering. Toyota has 30 years of experience in this area. And today, I'm going to tell you how this system works. I won't just say fuel savings. What is the Atkinson cycle? Where does regenerative braking energy actually come from? Why is the difference between mild hybrid and full hybrid critical? How is next-generation AI-powered energy management changing things? We'll look at all of that. Ready? Let's begin. The real history of hybrids, from 1902 to today. Most people think the hybrid car is an invention of the 2000s, but no. This story goes back much further. 1901. Ferdinand Porsche, yes, the founder of that famous sports car brand, built a vehicle he called the Mixty. This vehicle used both a gasoline engine and electric batteries. Gasoline when you wanted, electricity when you wanted. In 1901. So the idea is almost 125 years old. But the technology wasn't sufficient at that time. There was cheap oil, and electric systems were heavy and expensive. The hybrid idea was shelved for that time, until the late 1990s. In 1997, Toyota launched the Prius in Japan. This wasn't just a new model, it was a turning point in automotive history. The Prius was the first vehicle to successfully implement hybrid technology on a commercial scale. And this success spurred major manufacturers like Honda, Ford, and BMW into action. Honda Insight, Ford Fusion Hybrid, McLaren. P1, Ferrari. LaFerrari. Hybrid technology has even found its way into supercars today. Toyota, on the other hand, dedicated all of these 29 years to developing the technology. Today, almost all of its models have a hybrid version. The global market and why now? Now let's take a step back and look at the big picture. There are two major forces here. Firstly, government pressure on emissions. Euro standards are getting stricter with each generation. NOx, carbon emissions, particulate matter. Manufacturers have to comply with these limits. It's becoming increasingly difficult to meet these limits with pure gasoline vehicles. Secondly, consumer demand has changed. In the early days, buying a hybrid was somewhat associated with an environmental activist image. But that's no longer the case. People are calculating fuel costs, considering air quality in cities, and want a clean vehicle without the need for charging infrastructure. That's exactly what hybrids offer. Looking at the market side, hybrid vehicle sales continue to grow at an annual rate of 12.5%. This is an extremely high figure in the automotive sector. Toyota, Honda, BMW, Ford. They are all continuing their hybrid investments without slowing down. And the reason is not just the environment, it's performance. Because the electric motor provides instant torque. This means there are significant advantages in terms of acceleration, response time, and driving quality. What is a hybrid? Basic definition and working principle. Okay, let's start from the basics. You already know the word hybrid, a combination of two different things. In vehicles, it's exactly that. An internal combustion engine and one or more electric motors work together in harmony. But the critical issue here is how these two motors come together. Simply saying, I put them side by side, isn't enough. There's an extremely sophisticated energy management system between them. This system constantly measures driving conditions. What's the speed? What's the battery level? Are there any road inclines? How much gas is the driver applying? Is braking? And by looking at all this data, it makes a decision in milliseconds. Electricity alone is enough right now, or the gasoline engine should also engage, or both should work together. You hold the steering wheel and the car moves. All of this is happening in the background without you even realizing it. And I want to emphasize this. This system is not just for fuel saving. Electric motors provide instant torque, meaning that when you press the gas pedal, acceleration begins immediately. This is actually a feature that makes the driving experience more enjoyable. Therefore, thinking hybrid equals fuel saving is an incomplete perspective. The truth is, hybrid equals efficiency plus performance plus sustainability, an optimized system within this triangle. That's a perfect technology. Toyota hybrid system. 3 driving scenarios. To understand Toyota's hybrid system, think of 3 scenarios from your life. Scenario 1. Morning traffic. You get in your car and enter the narrow streets of a crowded city. Red light, green light, red light. What happens in this stop-and-go traffic? Only the electric motor is running. The gasoline engine is completely off. You move silently, without consuming fuel. We call this mode EV mode, and this happens very often in the city. That's why hybrid vehicles achieve those incredible fuel consumption figures, especially in the city. Scenario 2. Acceleration. You've exited that intersection, you need a little more power. You're approaching the highway entrance. That's when the gasoline engine kicks in and works together with the electric motor. Both at the same time. The power of the gasoline engine plus the instantaneous torque of the electric motor equals smooth, powerful acceleration. Scenario 3. Constant highway travel. You're driving at a constant 110 kilometers per hour. At this point, the gasoline engine is already operating at peak efficiency. If the battery is full, the electric motor also contributes. If the battery needs charging, the system pushes the gasoline engine a little harder to transfer the extra energy to the battery. Throughout these 3 scenarios, the driver does nothing. The system constantly optimizes itself to find the most efficient combination in each condition. To better understand this, imagine that you have both an athletics coach and a fuel economist sitting behind you. One says, "Fire it up now." The other says, "No, wait, there's enough electricity here." And the system constantly makes the right decision between these 2 voices. Atkinson cycle and ECVT transmission. Now let's delve a little deeper. There are 2 critical technical features that set Toyota's hybrid system apart from its competitors. First, Atkinson cycle. Standard gasoline engines operate with the Otto cycle. It sucks in, compresses, burns, and excretes. Toyota's hybrids, however, use a special engine that operates with the Atkinson cycle. In the Atkinson cycle, the intake valve closes later than normal. This means that less air-fuel mixture enters the combustion chamber, but the piston's expansion time is extended, meaning you get more work out of the same amount of fuel. Thermal efficiency is increasing. This means less money will be coming out of your wallet in the long run. There is one drawback, a lack of power at low revs. But that's where the electric motor comes in. Electricity makes up for that missing power. The 2 technologies compensate for each other's weaknesses. It's almost a perfect engineering partnership. Indeed, this approach is no longer unique to Toyota. The Ford Fusion Hybrid, Honda, Accord Hybrid, and almost all hybrid and PHEV models in the US market also use Atkinson cycle engines. But Toyota has been applying this technology for the longest time and across the widest range of models. Second, ECVT transmission. CVT stands for Continuously Variable Transmission. Instead of changing gears, it adjusts the power ratio continuously and smoothly. Toyota's ECVT transmission goes a step further by combining the electric motor and the gasoline engine with a mechanical power splitter. The result? No gear changes, no jerks, just a seamless, quiet ride. Regenerative braking, in depth. Now let's get to the part that people most often ask, wait a minute, how does this work? The regenerative braking system. First, let's remember basic physics. Everything that moves has kinetic energy. When you brake, the vehicle slows down, meaning this energy goes somewhere. In a normal car, this energy is converted into heat by the friction between the brake discs and dissipates into the air. It disappears. It's gone. In a hybrid vehicle, this story changes completely. When you press the brake or take your foot off the gas, the electric motor changes its operating mode. Instead of rotating the wheels, it now rotates in the opposite direction. That is, it takes energy from the rotation of the wheels and converts it into electricity. just like a generator. This electricity goes to the battery, is stored, and then waits ready for use. So every time you brake, you gain a small energy pack. The recovery rate isn't perfect. There are always losses in energy conversion. Practically, it's around 5% to 10%. It sounds small, but think of heavy city traffic. You brake hundreds of times a day. When these small percentages add up, it creates a significant battery contribution. Moreover, this system has another advantage. In classic vehicles, the alternator is powered by the engine. In a hybrid vehicle, there is no need for a separate alternator. This eliminates the extra load on the engine and further contributes to efficiency. One final point. In some vehicles, the driver can adjust how aggressive the regenerative braking is, how quickly the vehicle slows down when the foot off the gas, how much energy is recovered. This choice is left to the driver. In short, energy is not lost when braking. It goes to the battery. In city driving, this 5 to 10% recovery makes a very significant difference in the long run. Next-generation technologies, AI, lithium-ion, lightweight materials. So far, we have talked about Toyota's current system, but the industry is not stopping there. Hybrid technology is rapidly developing both on the hardware and software side. 4 areas are particularly noteworthy. First, AI-powered energy management. Today's hybrid systems make decisions based on instantaneous sensor data. But next-generation systems take this much further. AI-powered energy management systems learn the driver's habits, analyze traffic data, and optimize energy distribution in advance. Studies show that these systems can reduce fuel consumption by up to 20%. Second, next-generation batteries. Lithium-ion battery technology offers higher energy density, longer lifespan, and lower weight every year. Future plans include solid-state batteries, which could radically change energy storage capacity. Third, lightweight materials. Carbon fiber and aluminum components reduce vehicle weight. Lighter vehicles equals less energy consumption equals higher efficiency. Fourth, advanced electric motors. Better magnet design and cooling systems enable electric motors to deliver stronger torque and more efficient energy recovery. When all these developments come together, the picture that emerges is this. Hybrid technology is not only bridging the gap to electric vehicles, it is also becoming an increasingly powerful and intelligent technology in its own right. What is a mild hybrid? Okay, so far we've talked about Toyota's full hybrid system. But there's another term you often hear. Mild hybrid. It's also called a mild hybrid or semi-hybrid. And these are completely different things. A mild hybrid also offers electric assistance to a gasoline or diesel engine. But the electric system here is much smaller and much more limited. A full hybrid has a high-voltage battery, usually 200 volts and above. This battery is large enough for the vehicle to travel short distances entirely on electricity. In a mild hybrid, there's a 48-volt system. This vehicle cannot move on electricity alone. Electricity plays an assistant role here. It supports the gasoline engine, especially during takeoff and acceleration, lightening the load on the vehicle. What's the advantage? It's lighter, cheaper, and simpler, and yet it provides a 3% to 10% saving in fuel consumption. Toyota has integrated this technology into the Land Cruiser Prado. By 2026, a 2.8-liter turbo diesel engine will be paired with a 48-volt electric motor generator system. It produces a total of 205 horsepower and 500 newton-meters of torque, with an additional 16 horsepower and 65 newton-meters of acceleration support added to the system. Full hybrid versus mild hybrid versus PHEV. Now let's answer the question, which type of hybrid is right for me? Full hybrid. No external charging, the system charges itself. You can frequently drive in the city on pure electricity. High fuel efficiency. Who is it for? Heavy city drivers, those who don't want to deal with charging infrastructure. Mild hybrid simpler and more affordable. It cannot move the vehicle solely on electricity, but it provides acceleration and starting support to the gasoline engine. Fuel savings of 3 to 10%. Who is it for? Those who mainly drive long distances or those on a budget. PHEV, plug-in hybrid. Larger battery, charging per socket. Fully electric for short distances. Gasoline engine for longer distances. Maximum flexibility. But it requires charging infrastructure. Who is it for? Those who want both the electric driving experience and the freedom of long-distance travel. Maintenance, battery, and practical questions. What is the maintenance interval? For standard Toyota hybrid models, it's every 15,000 kilometers or 1 year. Because the electric motor shares the load with the gasoline engine, the engine is under less strain. A less strained engine means a longer maintenance interval. Does the battery really never run out? The system doesn't allow this while driving. If the battery drops below a certain threshold, even if the vehicle is stationary, the gasoline engine kicks in and starts charging. But if the vehicle is going to sit unused for a long time, it needs to be started for at least 30 minutes or driven 15 kilometers every 1 to 2 months. What if the battery is completely discharged? Authorized service intervention is required. It is not possible to start it with the standard jumper cables or by pushing or pulling. This is an important point where hybrids behave differently than conventional vehicles. Why does it consume so little fuel? Several factors come together. The gasoline engine runs less thanks to the electric motor's support. Fuel is burned more efficiently thanks to the Atkinson cycle. There is no extra load on the engine because there is no alternator. The air conditioning and steering systems are electrically operated, and energy recovery is achieved through continuous regenerative braking. When all these come together, it is truly possible to achieve values like 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city. How about maintenance costs? Generally, they are lower than conventional vehicles. Electric motors have far fewer moving parts, meaning the risk of wear and tear and failure is also lower. Brake pads also wear out less because regenerative braking reduces the need for mechanical braking. Today, we really took a comprehensive journey. From Ferdinand Porsche's prototype in 1901 to Toyota's current AI-powered energy management systems, from the Atkinson cycle to the physics of regenerative braking, from the difference between mild hybrid and full hybrid to when a PHEV should be preferred. We talked about everything. Hybrid technology is no longer just an environmentally friendly choice. It's a smart, efficient, and increasingly high-performance engineering achievement. And behind this achievement are decades of experience. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now's the perfect time. In the next videos, we'll be comparing Toyota hybrid models in detail. Corolla hybrid, RAV4 hybrid, CHR hybrid. We'll look at which model is right for whom with real-world usage data. See you soon.